Nithyanandam, with all the auspicious blessings and grace of my Guru, Sri Paramahamsa Nithyananda Swamiji, I welcome you all to this video. Today I would like to share something which I found very common among all walks of life. In my monastic life and my pre-monastic life, I've had the great joy of meeting all kinds of people, be it the most successful people, people who have struggled through hard times and become successful, or people who are still struggling and they perceive they have not met success yet, be it personal, professional, anything. And the worst of the human beings as we would perceive it, to the best of the human beings as we would perceive it. Here I would just like to clarify why I say as we perceive it, because one of the things I learned from Swamiji is that the good and the bad are only perceptions of the human mind. For Swamiji, it is always the being he looks at. It is never the good and the bad. That's one of the, I think that is one of the best thought processes that has broken inside of me after I met Swamiji and I took up this monastic lifestyle. Going back to the topic I would like to share with all of you today is depression. Depression seems to be quite a very common and very fashionable factor today. Everybody seems to be suffering either depression or sadness, or they're worried, all the time feeling stressed, feeling heavy, or feeling burdened, or feeling they're always rushed somewhere or the other. In my pre-monastic lifestyle, I was an actress where depression used to be a kind of lifestyle for many of my colleagues. And I was always wondering how we can break out of it. If I get a call to work, I will be so excited, but the very next moment, the fear of the success of the work, the fear of the work will happen or not, all these would lead me to go into a depressed mode, and then I have to spend time trying to get out of it, or I would not get out of it and deal with my work from the same depressed or a worried or a stressed mode. And this I've seen with all my colleagues. It's not just me. Over the years, I always used to feel mental health care, especially depression among women, was never prioritized among the healthcare sectors, and women were stigmatized when we talk about mental depression. It was not a kind of a topic a woman would come out and speak or share to her friends, her colleagues, or even her own parents or her spouse. But over the last couple of years, I've seen celebrities in India like Deepika Padukone talk about her depression and how she would feel that she never wanted to wake up in the morning. She was feeling so heavy and so stressed. All these factors started making me think, are we looking for a solution for depression, or are we on the path of glorifying depression? Like Swamiji says, the West has glorified depression so much that if I sneeze, I'm depressed, if I smile, I'm depressed. And Swamiji is always told that in every human emotion has been categorized as a mental health disorder in the West, which is not how we Indians have ever lived, which is why so many years have passed where mental depression or mental health care was not prioritized for us, because we never perceived it as a health issue. It was something that we dealt with and we used to come out of. In my pre-monastic life, and even now, I do tend to travel quite a bit to the United States, to Europe, to the Southeast Asian countries. But one of the predominant factors I always found amusing and was that these so-called advertisements in the television in the United States, where they would list out like, oh, are you finding difficult to get out of bed in the morning? Do you feel lost? Do you feel no one cares for you? They have these 100 questions that come up, and then towards the end of it, they say, if any of these you relate to or you identify with any of these, then please call the doctor. and they give some psychiatrist counseling number and all that. Initially, when I saw all these, I never actually related it to a kind of a pharmaceutical bullying, or a pharmaceutical industry was brainwashing the human beings into thinking that, oh, we actually have a problem. In my pre-monastic life, or even or rather, let me say, before I met Swamiji, when I saw all these advertisements, I would say, oh, this sounds like me. Oh, maybe I'm really depressed. Maybe I need to get to a doctor. But then in one of the discourses, Swamiji had clearly told, he had mentioned the same advertisements, and he listed all these 10, 15 problems that the advertisers say. And towards the end, where they give this a psychiatrist number or a counselor's number and say, please call him for medication or counseling. And he says, this is how people avoid dealing with the problem and just try to label it as a medical healthcare issue and oppress the problem. The problem, any problem, Swamiji says, if you oppress it, is not leading to completion. The problem has to be attended to and healed and completed. The psychiatric drugs or the counseling can only suppress the problems. But once you're out of drugs, or if you want to wean away from drugs, there are so many ripple effects, which people who are medicated may understand what I'm talking about. I was just sharing with all of you all, like how I had related the Western advertisements for a psychiatrical or mental health care issues before I met Swamiji and after I met Swamiji. So, like most of us who are watching this video, one of the problems I used to have was waking up in the morning and feeling, oh, I have nothing much to do today. What's the purpose of waking up? What am I going to do waking up? Then when after I met Swamiji, I started practicing what his teachings, after I started practicing what he's teaching us to live in a daily life, one of the simplest solutions for this problem was, he said, take kadukai puri. Kadukai puri is a very simple Indian herb found in a powder form or in a capsule form in most of the stores, Indian stores. I was like, it can't be true. I have so many problems in life. How can something like a kadukai puri just take away all my problems? But then since Swamiji had told, and I said, let me follow it. Let me try. And I took it for the first day, and I was so surprised. When I woke up in the morning, I was just feeling so fresh, mentally and physically. On the first day, I thought it was just something, oh, it is just my imagination. And I tried it consistently for 15-20 days. And I monitored the way I woke up in the morning and the way I was functioning for the rest of the day. And I really felt so foolish at the end of it, that for such a simple problem, which is not at all a problem, which could be, it could have been just some nutritive imbalance or physical tiredness, which made me think that I have a mental health problem. I felt really so foolish and so stupid in this planet. I really want to share with people, there is nothing like feeling heavy in the morning. It is just your tiredness or maybe the exhaustion that makes you feel that you really have some kind of a problem waking up. You should really try out this kadukai pudi, which is available, like I said, in most Ayurvedic stores. Just take it with half a teaspoon with water at night, and you will see when you wake up in the morning how fresh you feel. Only when you experience that freshness, you will understand what I'm talking about. So like this, then there was the other thing where they spoke about feeling lonely. If I'm feeling lonely, then I have another mental health or disorder. For that, Swamiji came up with a very beautiful solution, a very simple and beautiful solution. He said, if you're feeling lonely, that means you need to have more involvement in life. The moment you feel alone or lost, go out, talk to people, get more involved in whatever aspect of life you want to. The first time I was feeling, after I heard this discourse, and the first time I was planning to try it out, I just, oh, I'm just feeling alone, nobody cares for me. And why should I go and bother others in this mood? I should not bother. I have enough things to do, and everybody has enough things to do. That was the first thought that came up. Then the next time I was again going through the same feeling of being alone and feeling left alone and the fact that nobody cared for me. I just got fed up of having the same thought process, and I decided it's high time I just break this, because it was not leading me to feel exuberant and happy. It just made me feel powerless and all alone. And I decided I don't want to encourage or entertain any thoughts that constantly make me feel sad and powerless. And that's when I decided to try out Swamiji's teaching, which was go out in life, meet people, new people, old people, meet anybody, but just meet people. Every time you feel alone or lonely, just do something to fill that. And I started trying it out. And like again, I said, it was such a simple solution. And now I just don't feel lonely. Even if I'm alone, I don't feel lonely at all. It is such an amazing, simple solutions in life that we've been made to believe is so complicated. If any of you all are feeling that you're a failure, that anything you take up is useless, you're not going to succeed in it, or you have overwhelming feeling of sadness, of feeling worthless, of feeling that you're not wanted, or any of these various emotions that the psychiatric industry has termed as depressed, please leave it as a comment, and I would love to share with you Swamiji's solution for each of those emotions which the psychiatric industry has termed as depression. Swamiji, in his various discourses, has really busted the myth of depression. He has given such simple solutions to so many emotions that the psychiatry industry has termed as a medical disorder or a medical healthcare issues. And I would really love for each one of you all to watch the various discourses of Swamiji. I'll be putting up a link somewhere here. And see, life is so joyful, so full of fun, and life is just to live king size. And it's just not the materialistic wealth that makes you feel live life king size. It's the inner space that is full of love, joy, and bliss, and wanting everybody around you to live the same lifestyle. This is one of the most precious teachings of Swamiji that humanity will really miss if it does not follow. Thank you for tuning in. Nithyanandam, and hope to see you again in my next video.